Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here. I hope you guys like it. It's a really fun look and we can just go ahead and get started. But before, do not forget to subscribe and connect with me on all my social media accounts at TaylorGilbert94. So first I'm just pulling my hair back because it always seems to get in the way, and I just got these hair clips at Dry Bar and they are amazing. I absolutely love them. So yeah, so anyway, I am priming my lids with just a little bit of concealer just to make sure it cancels out any discoloration or anything, and just so we can kind of start out with a blank canvas on our lids. And then going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm just using this shade here just to buff it all over into the crease and on my lid and everything, just to make sure that all the shadows that we use today just blend over it really nicely and aren't muddy or anything. So first of all, I'm using this palette right here. This is by Morphe. It's a 39A and it is incredible. So the middle row is all transition shades and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. So I'm going in with the lightest transition shade in the palette, and I'm just using this big fluffy natural haired brush, and I'm just buffing this all into the crease. I'm not being really precise, just kind of going all over the place because I really just want this to be a blown out look, but I also want this color to just really help to clean up the look of it. So going in with the second lightest shade in the palette, and I'm basically going to be doing the same thing, maybe not quite as crazy as I did the first one, but actually yeah, I did. So, and I'm also extending it just a little bit past the brow bone as well, like I'm doing right there, because I want it to be a little more of like a big blown out look. So next I'm going in with this kind of burnt orange color, which is really, really pretty, and I'm going in with a more dense brush this time, and I'm concentrating it more just the crease area, not blowing it out as much, so I'm just placing it into the crease and extending it as well, but I am also just kind of like doing circular motions, buffing it out, making sure no super harsh lines or anything. Now I'm going back in with that lightest transition shade. I'm just going back in with that first brush we used as well, just to buff it all out, and you're going to see me do this throughout the whole video because blending with this look is so important. And so I did bring a little bit back of that burnt orange back just because I wanted it to be a little more intense. So I brought a little bit of it back, and once again buffing that out with that light transition shade. Now I'm going in with this like a purpley burgundy type color with more of a fluffy brush this time, not so dense as the brush before. And I'm just kind of lightly brushing this into my outer corner, and then once it's lightly once it's lightly buffed in, I'm going to go ahead and start packing the color in a little bit more. And I'm extending this as well because once the look is done, we'll clean it up later. But I wanted to go ahead and just kind of like get messy while I could. And once again, I am using that same brush and that same first transition shade to clean it all up. But just a lot of blending with this look. Take your time, because blending is the most important part, because if it's not blended, it's just going to look messy. Now I'm going in with that burnt orange shade again, just because I felt like we lost it again, and that's okay. That's going to happen with your transition shades, but I wanted this one to be seen, so I'm going to keep going back in there and bringing it back whenever I need to. And then cleaning it up once more with that same fluffy brush. And now I'm going in with this deep purple shade and a more small little detailed brush here, and I'm just concentrating this right into the crease because I'm not doing really a cut crease, but I really wanted this to be seen and like more bold in the crease. But I'm definitely going with a light hand because these shades are super pigmented and I didn't want it to look crazy or be hard to blend, so I'm just like grabbing a little bit, dusting off the brush, and then bringing it in and just slowly building it up till I have the intensity that I want for the look. Alright, so now I'm going in with this beautiful, it's by Natasha Denona, it's their Chroma Crystal Top Coat, and this is in the shade Nude. And I'm just using my finger, and I just dab it in there, and then you just rub it lightly on the lid. But I'm doing just the inner corner, and it is absolutely stunning. It is so pretty. I love it so much. It feels so good on the lid, and no fallout or anything. It's just really pretty. And so I'm going back in with a little bit of that purple just to intensify it once more, make sure no glitter or whatever is on it. and then going back in with that original fluffy brush just to make sure everything is blended and looks really nice. And then I added a little more of that lighter purple shade just to make sure we didn't lose any of that color on the outer corner. And then cleaning it up again. Then I went back in with that orange again, like I said I'd be doing. And because I really wanted it to be seen, so I'm just bringing it back in, going over just above where that deep purple shade is, right above the crease, and just bringing that back there. And now for liner, I'm using the Skone Cosmetics Liquid Tattoo Liner, I believe it's called, and it's pretty good. I actually really like it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and create winged liner here, and then cleaning it up with a makeup wipe, like I said, just to make sure there's no excess shadow anywhere on our face. And then I got more of that deep purple shade because I wanted it to be more intense. So I went into the crease with it, but also the outer corner as well because I wanted it to be just like darker with that wing liner. I felt like the wing liner kind of took away from it a little bit, so I wanted to bring back some of that intensity of the look. Then I went in with this waterliner. It's the Kajal Visanti Waterline Eyeliner in Intense Black, and it is so good. So I tight lined with this liner just to make sure you couldn't see any skin. And then, of course, curled my lashes and coated them with some mascara. This is a L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara just to get them ready for falsies. And while the lash glue dries, I went ahead and primed my skin. And this is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. And it just basically makes your skin just look super glowy. So I did a pump and a half on my hands, just making sure that they are clean because you don't want to spread bacteria or anything. You don't want to break out. So I'm just rubbing that all into the skin evenly just to have this super glowy base. And then I went ahead and applied my lashes, and these are the House of Lashes Just Wing It style. Then for foundation, going in with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. It's an alright foundation. I like it. It's definitely medium coverage, but you can build it up to full coverage if you want, which is what I did because there was some places on my skin that I wanted covered up a little bit more, so I just went over with a little bit more. And if you like medium coverage, then this is a great foundation because it is really nice. It's just buffing that all into the skin with my EcoTools foundation brush. And then with concealer, this is the Sephora collection. I think it's called the Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer, and it's really good. I love it, but apparently I was almost out and didn't realize it. So I'm just placing that to brighten up the under eyes, as well as straightening out the nose, and then balancing it out with the forehead, chin, and Cupid's bow. And then I use a little bit more concealer, but this is the Colourpop Concealer. I love mixing concealers. I just love it. And then blending it all out with a dampened beauty blender. And then I went in with my RCMA No Color Powder to set everywhere that I put concealer, and then I felt like it lightened up my skin just a little bit too much. Like I didn't want crazy bright under eyes. So I went back in with a different powder to kind of set it on top of that to darken it just a little bit. And this is from the Kat Von D palette as well, this lighter shade, just so it didn't look too crazy bright. And then for bronzer, I went in with this Ulta Beauty. It's like a contour kit, and this is really, really cool, especially if you're like a freelance makeup artist. You have a bunch of different shades in here, and they're really, really good. The highlight shades are okay, but the contour and bronzing is just really pretty and beautiful in this palette. And then I realized as I was going through it that I didn't really like this shade for this look because it just wasn't as, you know, bronzy as I wanted. So then I went back in with my Benefit Hoola bronzer and got more bronzed. And then to contour, it went back into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and got that middle shade. Nothing crazy. I didn't want it to be like super intense, so I just went in just a little bit just to create that little bit of depth in the cheeks. And then I went in with my beauty blender just to soften the line between the under eye concealer and the bronzer, and then going in with that lighter shade again, and just to smoke out the lower lash line. I'm trying to bring it out pretty low, and I'm also getting it under the wing as well. And then going in with that burnt orange shade, I'm basically doing the exact same thing with the same pencil brush as well. This is a pretty bigger, pretty much a large pencil brush to bring it down even more. And then I grabbed that light purple shade, but a smaller pencil brush this time, so I didn't want to bring it down as low. I want to keep it pretty close to the lash line, because the lower you bring a shade like that, you're going to end up looking like a little crazy, maybe a little sick. And then I went with that big pencil brush again, but with no more product on it, just to blend it all out, make sure it all looks good, no harsh lines or anything. Then I just did my waterline with that same black liner. And then I went with that deep purple shade with this flat brush and just kind of smudged it a little bit along the lower lash line, just to add a little bit more depth to the under eye. So I want it to look really smoky and match the lid as well. And then next for a highlight, I went in with these BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palette, and I went in with this pink highlight here, and I basically did this to highlight the brow bone and then the inner corner of my eyes as well, and it's such a pretty highlight. A little bit goes a long way. Very, very pigmented, but very pretty. And then I mixed together that pink shade and that really white frosty one, just a tiny bit of the frosty one because it's like crazy white. So mix those together and highlight the tops of my cheekbones, as well as the bridge of my nose, the point of my nose, the Cupid's bow, and my chin. And then went in with blush. This is the Tarte blush. This is the shade Party, I believe it's called. And just put a light flush on top of my cheeks, just to add a little bit of color in there. And then lastly for lips, I used the Tarte Tarteist lip paint. This is in the shade Birthday Suit, and I feel like it tied the look together really well. It's really pretty color, and this is such a comfortable liquid lipstick. It dries down matte, and it is gorgeous and very comfortable on the lips. Doesn't feel drying at all, just really, really comfortable. Alright, and that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!